Hello everyone, and here, the little Frenchie, not in big Texas. I'm in France right now. I'm actually in the south of France. So it's been about 10 days and I want to take this opportunity to just look back at my first 10 days and my impressions. What has changed, what's going on in France. First, let me show you the place. As you can see, it's my girls I'm watching in the back here. So we are in the south of France and this is a typical mas, which is kind of the traditional farmhouse in Provence. So this is the owner's house. We are renting it, not the house, actually we're renting a little apartment in the back, but let me show you around. Very typical here. On the side you have these olive trees with olives that you have everywhere in the south of France. And looking around here, you've got, they actually got it settled pretty well. They have 4 apartments they rent right there, we're right here. But yeah, you can see it here. This is how all the roofs are made in this area. So very solid roofs and a pretty nice place for just a few days here, enjoying the south, Provence. Let me set you back down here so that I get to talk to you. So my impressions, the first days, week. So the first thing, to get it out of the way, because I've read comments, I had questions about the disease, the mask mandate, and so on. So no word here, nothing. I mean, I've been to Paris, I took the subway, I went to museums, I went to the countryside. Nobody's wearing a mask. Maybe 1 or 2 people. I mean, it's very seldom. And I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, even if we have a new variant. Let me explain you why. Right now it's early September, so actually today is back to school day for all the kids in France. You know, here not much homeschooling, so everybody's going back to school today, which is excellent for us because it means nobody's around when we want to visit things. It's the good time to go. Prices went down, it's perfect. But what's happening in 2 weeks? September 15th, France is hosting the Rugby World Cup. And it's pretty big here. Not as big as soccer, but pretty big. And it's probably going to last, I would say, at least a month. So during the whole period, no mask mandate, no nothing. We are the host. So we're going to have full stadium, and rugby is actually a lot of partying, and it's much nicer than soccer in terms of atmosphere. People having barbecue on the side and no fighting between teams, very peaceful. So it should be a good time, but yeah, there is no word on any of this here. First thing. Second thing is really what shocked me, kind of. I really noticed it's on the economical side. Oh, I've got the newspaper here. I took a newspaper for you just to read the headlines at the end. Yeah, economy. People are really, I mean, they feel the inflation. And the salaries here are not as high as in the US, they don't go as high. People are really on a budget. It's back to school, so they have to buy all the necessary items to go to school, and they really feel it because it's what I read in the newspaper is that it went up pretty much 9% compared to last year, and it's a lot if you got 2 or 3 kids. So they're talking about inflation a lot. Also, what I noticed in Paris is the number of homeless people. It was not that way. Okay, I don't go that often, but here it's everywhere, even in the touristic areas, on the Seine riverbank. I mean, you have homeless living in tents everywhere. It's increased tremendously. Another thing I noticed, not on the positive side for Paris, it's becoming more dirty as well. They had issues a while back with the trash and going on strike. So they're not on strike, but it's still everywhere and it's really not clean. So the mayor of Paris, not sure if she's going to get re-elected, but work to do on that side to clean the city and do something for all these homeless everywhere in tents, or not even in tents, subway. In subway, it used to be the case, even in the past. You used to have, but here it's everywhere. Touristic places, nice area, I mean, everywhere. So really, economy, you can feel it. There's been also discussion on real estate, given the interest rates are going back up. And just as a reminder, Europe had extremely low interest rates for the last 5 years at least, but so low that people were even, I mean, banks were almost giving you money for free. Interest rates went down to almost 0%. Almost nothing. Now it's back to between 3 and 4%. So if you want a loan, it's even higher up. And the real estate prices have not gone down so much. So there's a bit of a halt here on the real estate market. If you look at Paris, the price right now, they were saying it just went down below the 10,000 euro per square meter, which is pretty high. I mean, it's 500,000 euro for a small one bedroom, 500 square feet. It's expensive. So if in addition you have to pay, interest rates of, I don't know, when I say 3.5%, it's the bank add on top. So I'm not too sure how much you get here. It's probably closer to 5 or 6. So it's an issue. People are really feeling the strength here on the market, real estate market. It's getting harder for them to find a place to live, because even the rent, it's the government is trying to cap some of the rent, which is a real issue for homeowners who want to rent, because they're putting a cap of how much you can rent per square meter in the areas that have a lot of demand, which pretty much Paris and the surroundings. But in these areas, they're controlling the rent, so it is not good for you. But yeah, so just I don't know, I hope the video is okay here. It's gonna be raw and unfiltered because I did not take anything to process the video, so I'm just gonna upload it as you see it. Hope it's okay with you, and actually if you're enjoying it, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, that is it. So let me share with you here. So this is the newspaper from Paris, Le Parisien, from this weekend. So all fresh, brand new, big headline: Gros temps sur l'immobilier, meaning bad weather on real estate. I told you that's really a big discussion right now. Not enough housing offer, big increase on interest rate, less transactions, and prices in Paris, because this is a Paris newspaper, have not gone down yet. So when they say 10,000 euro per square meter, it's just gone down. Maybe it's at 9.99. It has not gone down. So it's not looking good, and they're saying that it's here to stay, which is kind of alarming if you're starting to work, trying to find even a little apartment to rent or buy. So that is not good news. What else are they saying here? Because mostly, this is the half of the newspaper is on the Rugby World Cup coming up in 10 days. But yeah, what's interesting here, because when we say not enough housing offer, we also have an issue with doctors, not enough doctors. So what they are trying to do is to have pharmacy giving, and somebody, usually in a pharmacy, you have at least one licensed pharmacist who they want to allow to give vaccines as well as antibiotics. Maybe not all, but certain, to remediate to the fact that we don't have enough doctors, especially in some rural areas. So that's also an issue here. But yeah, if I flip down the pages, it's the local one, it's a lot of local politics and so on. In terms of international news, so it's not going to be in this one. What I heard, of course, you also always have what's happening eastern of Europe. That's a big discussion. Also the trade war between US and China. Interesting article actually I read about the brand Hisense, the Chinese brand. They set up a goal to be the leader on the European markets in 5 years from now for all the small, medium-sized appliances in your house, or small electric appliance for the kitchen. Leader from China. Look at that. That's there. And actually the place where I'm at, they have AC, which is really good because it's really hot right now. Well, the AC over there, it's Hisense. So that was an interesting article, I thought, because we do have quite a few European brands, German brand, French brands, and Italian. But yeah, China is conquering the market here. So yeah, that's definitely international headlines. Also, what's being talked about here is Africa. because France used to have colonies in Africa, and we still have countries over there that are, I mean, they're independent, no longer colonies, but they do speak French, and they do have the colonial French francs. We are Euro, but they still have the French francs over there. So it's more in the middle of Africa. And there's been a lot of coup d'etat over there, meaning the military, highest ranked general and so on, taking the power over the president. So it happened, I think, in Congo and in Niger, maybe in English. And the general now in charge, the new president, declared president, actually asked the French ambassador to leave the country, saying, I don't want you here, you go yourself and the army forces you have in the country. Because we do have a bit of army forces in that part of Africa, like 1,500 soldiers, and some in Niger and in Congo. So we just ask, go. And 48 hours to evacuate the country. And Macron on that one was pretty strong, saying, I do not recognize you as the head of state, so I am not going to respond to your request. We are staying. And he actually stayed, and I believe the ambassador is still alive. Everybody's okay, but it's very tensed in these countries. And we all know it's tense in other places, but we don't hear about these countries in Africa on the US side. So just to give you examples of the tensions we have all over the world. People taking over the ruling power, wanted something else from the government. What's also interesting, so I'm not too sure if it's Congo or Niger. Might be Congo, but whoever took the power is pretty wealthy for being the head of the Secret Service Force or the army and so on. So a public servant in theory. Well, that guy apparently has 3 houses in Maryland in the US. So there's probably a bit of black market going on as well over there. It's everywhere. So just a bit of an update here, showing you around south of France. So we are right here, about an hour north of Marseille. So in Provence, if you see the river, the Rhône, we are just almost at the estuary going onto the Mediterranean Sea. And tomorrow we're going to head to the Mediterranean, to the beach. But talking about river, just to finish here, because something that's really probably one of the most striking thing is the water and all the green movement, you know, how to save on energy, how to save water. And so I mentioned the Rhône, which is one of the 3 big rivers in France. We have the Seine in Paris and the Loire, where I went to see the castles. And the Loire is almost gone. I mean, there is that much water. I mean, it's the main river. You cannot have boats on that river. It is extremely low. And you still have some rivers that did not make it. I mean, last year it was completely dry. It rained more this year, but not enough to recover. So water is still really an issue being discussed. How to save on water, what to do. Energy is still also on top of the agenda. I noticed a lot of windmills, and they're not really pretty in the landscapes going south. And here in the south, a lot of solar panels, like huge areas, solar, which makes sense because I mean, it's so hot here. It's today is 35, 40 degrees. It's kind of like Texas weather, not humid. But yeah, so solar makes sense. But yes, you have it. It's really being discussed, and it's for everything, how to be green. Giving you an example, we went to a hotel. Usually, you know, in the hotel, you've got the card key, which is plastic, right? You put the card key, you put it for the electricity in the hotel. No, not anymore. They're in wood now here, wood. And you don't have any more, you know, the little samples in the rooms. No, gone. You have a big one, and that's it. Where you used to have a notepad, paper. No paper. So I'm thinking, you know, it saves the hotel money as well because they don't give you anything anymore. That's it. You're saving for the planet, but you're also saving for their pocket. So anyway, a little side story here. to finish this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. More to come. I have tons of video coming up when I will be back in Texas. A lot to process here, so be patient. It will come. Thank you all for watching.